Hey, welcome. Today we've got a really powerful story for you. It's about getting wealthy, sure, but it's really about the incredible discipline and consistency it takes to get there. It's a classic tale of starting with absolutely nothing and changing everything. Let's get into it.
You know, it almost always starts with this one simple thought, right? That little voice in your head that says, one day I'm gonna change my life. A lot of us say that, but for this young guy, Ryan, this wasn't just some daydream. Nope, this was the fire that was about to set his whole world in motion.
But here's the thing. That fire? It was up against a really harsh, cold reality. I mean, Ryan had literally nothing. No family to fall back on, no support system, and definitely no money. It was just him against, well, pretty much everything. Okay, so this is where our story really kicks off. Part 1, Empty Pockets, Big Dreams. The starting point. I mean, can you just imagine how lonely that must have been? He's in this tiny town and people didn't just ignore him. Some of them actually laughed at him. That kind of thing could crush a person's dream, right? But for Ryan, all that laughter and indifference, it just became more fuel for that fire inside him. And then, you know how it goes. One day, things just changed. Because even when most people don't see it, real hard work has this funny way of getting noticed by the right person. And for Ryan, that person was a wealthy man named Mr. Alexander. And believe me, this was the turning point he'd been waiting for.
So Mr. Alexander, he sees this grit in Ryan and he doesn't just offer him a handout. No, he offers him something way more valuable, a blueprint. And when he said, if you truly want to become rich, follow my 7 rules, Ryan knew. This was it. This was the one shot he might ever get, and he had to take it.
All right, part 2, the rules in action, the blueprint for success. So, what was this incredible, life-changing advice? Let's dive in and break down the 7 rules Mr. Alexander shared, the very rules that would become Ryan's roadmap.
So here they are in a nutshell. Take full responsibility, learn high-income skills, put discipline over motivation, save and invest smartly, avoid negative people, take calculated risks, and number 7, never give up. Okay, let's look at what each one of these really means in practice. Okay, rule number 1, take full responsibility. Stop blaming others. Your life equals your responsibility. Honestly, this first one is everything. Ryan had every excuse in the book, right? No money, no support. But Mr. Alexander's first rule was simple. Drop the excuses. And from that day forward, Ryan got it. His life, his future, it was all on him. That's the foundation for everything that comes next. All right, rule 2, learn high-income skills. Or, as the slide says, skills pay bills. And isn't that the truth? So next up, it was time to build. Ryan started to just obsessively learn practical, high-value skills. You know, things like digital marketing, how to communicate effectively, the nuts and bolts of business. He wasn't just killing time, he was forging the tools he needed to build a brand new life.
Rule number 3, discipline over motivation. This one is so important. Motivation fades, discipline stays. Think about it. Motivation, that's a feeling. It's awesome when you have it, but it comes and goes. Discipline, though, that's a commitment. It's a choice you make. Ryan learned to show up and do the work every single day, especially on the days he wasn't feeling it. And that, right there, is where the real magic happens.
Next up, rule 4, save and invest smartly. Don't just earn, multiply. Man, this rule completely changed how Ryan thought about money. It wasn't just about what he earned, it was about what he did with it. Even when he had almost nothing, he treated every single dollar like a seed. He'd save a little bit and then invest it, not in stocks at first, but back into himself. Buying books, taking courses, creating tiny opportunities. He was learning how to make his money work for him.
Okay, rule 5, stay away from negative people. Your circle decides your future. Wow, this might have been the toughest one. Ryan had to make a really conscious and probably painful choice to step away from the people in the environments that were just dragging him down. You know, the ones who laughed at his dreams. He learned that energy is contagious. Your circle can either lift you up or pull you down. He chose to protect his future.
And now we have rule 6, take risks. No risk, no rich. Now this isn't about being reckless or gambling. It's about having strategic courage. Mr. Alexander taught him to take calculated risks, to step outside his comfort zone, test new ideas, and look at failure not as the end of the world, but just as data. And Ryan figured out a powerful secret. The biggest risk of all was actually staying safe and never trying anything new. And finally, the seventh rule, the one that kind of holds all the others together. Never give up. Winners never quit. Look, the road to success is never, ever a straight line. It's messy. It's full of setbacks and moments where you just want to throw in the towel. The only way to make those other 6 rules actually matter is to simply refuse to quit. You just have to keep going no matter what. So there you have it. Ryan had the rules. But a blueprint isn't a house, right? Now came the hard part, the construction. This was the struggle and the secret, the real test. And let's be really clear here. This was not some overnight success story. Not even close. The journey was brutal. Ryan failed, and he failed a lot. We're talking about days where he literally had no food, nights where he slept hungry. This struggle is what makes his success so real and so powerful. And during those really dark times, he held on to another piece of wisdom from his mentor. Pain is temporary, success is permanent. That idea became his mantra. It's the thought that pulled him through the hunger, the doubt, all of it. And this timeline just shows the whole transformation perfectly. He starts on day 1 with empty pockets and these huge dreams. Then for 3 years, it's all about the rules, the struggle, and that consistency. And then, today, success, respect, and the biggest prize of all, freedom. So after all that, after those 3 tough years, what was the real secret? Was it just those 7 rules Mr. Alexander gave him? What do you think?
And here it is. This is the big reveal. Ryan goes back to his mentor and says, "Sir, your 7 rules, they changed my life." But Mr. Alexander stops him. He says, "No, your consistency did." Think about that. The rules were just the roadmap. The engine, the real power that got him there was his own day in, day out consistency.
And that brings us right to the heart of this story, the ultimate takeaway, the lesson that isn't just about Ryan, but is for every single one of us. Part 4, your effort is everything.
So, what's the moral of the story? It's really 2 things. First, that success isn't some big secret. There are principles, there are rules you can follow. But way more important is the second part. Where you start doesn't matter. Not really. What matters is your effort.
So we're going to leave you with this thought. Your starting point doesn't matter. Ryan proved that. He started with absolutely nothing. The real question isn't about where you are right now. It's about what your effort, powered by your own consistency, is going to change.